and today I am going to be experimenting, and I thought I'd bring you along for the journey. I have become very accustomed to using American Floetrol in my Dutch pours, and I'm very comfortable with it. But I'm also aware that the Floetrol is not archival, and I wanted to explore using the Liquitex Pouring Medium instead of, well, also with the Floetrol. Well, not with the Floetrol, but I want to do a side-by-side comparison. That would be a better explanation. I want to do the Floetrol and the water with the paint in one pour, and I want to do the Liquitex Pouring Medium with the paint and no water in the other pour. I've done a little bit of research about how to mix up the Liquitex Pouring Medium. I know some people put GAC in it, some people mix the Floetrol and the Liquitex. According to Liquitex themselves, well, on the bottle it says to start with 5% color and 95% medium. However, in their videos that they have online, they say to do about 10 parts pouring medium to 1 part paint. So I'm just gonna go with their recommendation and see how that turns out, and then I can always tweak from there forward. So I've got my Liquitex Pouring Medium over here, and I've got my Floetrol and my water over here. I'm going to be doing a split composition because I want this to be as close to my typical style as possible. I have done these colors before, well, similar to these colors, and it turned out really nice. I'm gonna do the Liquitex Cerulean blue on one side, and then an Amsterdam Sky Light blue on the other side. So it'll be split with the darker blue and the lighter blue. And then my pour colors are gonna be Cadium yellow, Vermillion orange, and gold. And I'll probably get a little bit of green in there too, and I'm totally fine with that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get my paints mixed up. I'll kind of talk you through my thought process, and we'll see how this turns out. So I'm gonna start by mixing up the Liquitex paints. I don't have a lot of Liquitex Pouring Medium here, but I do have some backups if I need it. So my guess is that I'll need about 3/4 of this cup for each half. So if I'm going with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That wasn't very scientific. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's it for that bottle actually. So if I do 1.5 of those, ooh, this stuff has a different odor to it. I do 1.5. Okay, that was probably as unscientific as I could possibly do it, but I do not measure when I mix my paints, and let's be honest, I'm just not going to. So I've got to figure out how to do this without measuring, because I know myself. That's pretty. That mixed up really, really nicely. It is pretty thick, in my opinion. I may end up adding some water to that. Maybe not for the experiment's sake. Let's see. On the other side, I'm gonna do the lighter blue. So, let's see. Looks like I got a seal on here. I'll go with, okay, where are you not coming out? All right, hold on one second, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab the other one. I have got a fresh bottle here of Liquitex Pouring Medium with the safety seal intact so that I know it's good. And I'm going to break this open for the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that look about right? Kind of smells weird. Maybe I'm just not used to it. And then I'm gonna give this, whoop, that plus a little bit more. I do really, really like this color. This is a new color for me. I ordered it recently and it's very, very pretty. The Amsterdam Sky Blue Light. I do have to say that these paints, they mix in really nicely. They just mix up like quickly. Like there's no struggle to get them mixed. They're just a few swishes and there they are. They're mixed. So that probably has something to do with the fact that the pouring medium costs about, I don't know, 4 times more than Floetrol. And then I have 3 little cups here because I'm not going to need a whole lot of the other colors, and I'm mixing these fresh. So I'm just going to add a little bit to the bottom of each one, and I'm just going to add a dab of color and then mix those up. So I've got Liquitex I've got Liquitex Gold here. Add a bloop and a half of that. I do really like this gold. I've got my Amsterdam Vermillion. Lately I've been kind of digging oranges for some reason. And then Cadium Yellow, Liquitex Basics. I am curious to see if there's any difference between mixing the Liquitex paints in with the pouring medium versus the other brands, or if it doesn't really matter. So this is the Liquitex Cadium Yellow Medium Hue, and that mixed up pretty nicely. I do have to say all the consistencies are pretty even. Sorry, I seem to be having trouble with my words tonight. Now this is the Amsterdam color. This is mixing up pretty easily as well. Maybe a tad thicker than the other colors. Definitely thicker than what is recommended for a Dutch pour, well, what most people do for a Dutch pour, although I do mine a little thicker. And let's see how it handles the metallic here. Okay, that mixed up pretty nicely as well. I'm a little bit hesitant about how thick they are, but I don't know what they're gonna do when I let them sit for a few minutes, so I'll let that go. And then here on the other side, I'm gonna go ahead and mix up my Floetrol. Which I am gonna add more paint to, so it'll be interesting to see if there's a difference in the pigmentation, if one looks more transparent than the other. I don't know. I'm sure some people have this all down, but this is just an experiment for me to learn. I learn best by doing. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying it out myself to see what I find. So I'm gonna give this a healthy squirt of Cerulean blue and then sky blue light on the other side. Sorry, don't know if I'm in frame here. So according to the mixing instructions, I do have to say that this method seems to take or require possibly more paint. And I do feel like it's going to take a little bit more effort just to mix them completely, especially when I start to add the water. Okay, I want to look at these consistencies side by side. So this is the Floetrol with no water. Floetrol paint, about 2/3 Floetrol, about 1/3 paint, approximately. Like I said, I don't measure. And that's the consistency there. Can you see that? So it's, all right, and then, I don't want to get these mixed up. This one is the pouring medium. It's more flowy, I guess. Like more smooth, more silky. I might say more silky. Definitely more silky than this. This just doesn't flow quite as evenly, maybe. But maybe once the water gets added. I'm gonna be really careful not to mix these up. All right, mixing in the sky blue light here. And that's pretty thick as well. Get the other colors mixed up here. And then I will go ahead and add in my water to my Floetrol mixture. I have heard it recommended not to add the water until after you mix the paint into the Floetrol. And I always like to learn myself. So one time I decided to try that to see why people said that. And it was very difficult to get the paints to mix in evenly. So the paints mix well into Floetrol without the water added, not so easily after the water is added to the Floetrol. There's my yellow. Vermilion orange and gold. Sometimes I like to add a little extra to the gold. Definitely don't want your metallics to be too thin. Definitely need to have enough pigment in those. Okay, so mixing those up. Don't know if you can see this. Definitely takes a little bit longer, especially with the metallic, to mix it into the Floetrol. But how long it takes is not really a factor for me. I'm not really in this to be super speedy. I'm in this to relax and to have fun and to create something that I enjoy and that hopefully other people enjoy as well. Here we go. Looks like French's mustard. Do not eat. Do not try this at home. Just kidding. Do try it at home. It's really fun. Okay, getting there, getting there. I still see some clumps. super thick. And Cerulean Vermillion orange. Isn't that color amazing? So vibrant. I did a pour yesterday where I mixed a little of this next to some pink and some blue, and it was like sunset colors. Definitely inspired me. I feel like every pour I have 10 more ideas. It's hard to keep up with them. And then I try to record everything because I want you all to be able to enjoy this along with me. And if you're into that, maybe learn a little something. Because I have learned to do this from online creators, and I'm very, very grateful to them that they share their techniques with me so that I could learn how to do this. And just the stress relief for me, and it's the things that it teaches me and then it helps me to practice about letting go of control, have been super important. Okay, now I'm gonna go back and add a little bit of water into my Dutch pours here to thin them out a little bit. I'm still super tempted to add it here, but the directions did not say to do that. And I kind of just want to see what it looks like without adding any water. I'm sure there's somebody over there on the other side of the computer screen yelling, "Add water, you have to add water," or "No, don't add water, I made that mistake." Well, guess what? I don't know yet. I don't know what to do, so I'm just learning. Okay, mixing, mixing, mixing. All right, that is a bit thinner. Probably still on the thick side for a Dutch pour, but I prefer to go thick rather than thin. I hate when it goes thin and it just mixes all together like a big clumpy mess. That is a very frustrating experience for me. I like to have more say over what the paints are gonna do as I'm telling you to let go of control. Yes, I do realize that is a little bit hypocritical, but I'm just being real. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more water to that because it still felt like it was a little bit thin. Yep, that's about how I like it. I still like it to mound a little bit. Can you see that? Sorry, I'm trying to get that in the frame for you. Okay, let me mix these up. Zoop-a-doop. Here is the yellow. I still feel like I'm seeing clumps in here. Just making me feel, yes. What is that? Making me feel nervous. And then here is the gold. Okay, so those feel, yep, those feel a little bit better. Wow, these are super thick. Liquitex. It doesn't say to add water. It says it's water resistant when it's dry. Let bubbles diffuse before use. Well, I'm not gonna do that. Compatible with all Liquitex products. Well, that's good to know. Hopefully also compatible with other paint products, even though they won't say so. That's just so silky. I have to try it. I just have to do it. Okay. I am going to, which one should I start with? I'm gonna start over here with the Liquitex one. So I'm just gonna do a bit of a split composition here with my light blue on the top I'm try to leave a little bit of that for the, oh gosh, it's not the best quality canvas either. I'm trying on here. Okay, guess what? It doesn't even move. So here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to attempt to get most of this right back in the cup here. All right, well, I did not get it all, but I got a lot of it. And I can probably, no, I'm not gonna try to scoop that up. What I am gonna do is add some water to this because it was so thick that it wouldn't even move on the canvas. And I don't want to switch my blow dryer to high, although maybe that's what I needed to do. Okay, here we go. Much thinner. Okay, can you see this? Do you see how thin that is? It's actually like barely sitting on top. Let's mix this one up too. I feel like this is actually getting thicker as it's sitting. Like this, yeah, okay. Pretty sure that's what it's supposed to look like. This blue is, it definitely thickened up while I was mixing the other colors. So I'm gonna add a drizzle of water to those colors as well and give them a little mix. Color is so pretty. Is that thin enough yet? What do you think? Okay, I still believe that it's easier to mix this pouring medium than the other, but let's see how it goes this time. Okay, that moved very nicely. I'm gonna come back over here with the Cerulean blue. I feel like I pronounce all these paint names wrong. I should just make up my own names for them. Okay. Initial observations, you need to add, or I need to add water. even to the Liquitex Pouring Medium, but not a lot. Gosh, I didn't measure it. So I'm gonna just have to guess. Okay, also I hate it when the edges are like a transparent color, and I can tell already that these edges are gonna be transparent. So mental note or video note, more paint to pouring medium ratio. And then initially I was gonna say that it really doesn't have bubbles, but I do see the bubbles now, and they're maybe just smaller or maybe deeper, I don't know. Let's see if I can get them to pop. Okay, they're also like not as poppable. Practically burnt the paint there. All right, those bubbles are not going away. So let's see. This is a little thick yet. I'm gonna put some water here. Mix this up. And then I'm gonna blow out this side here. These paints, they really do thicken up as you let them sit. The darker colors, maybe more than the lighter colors. Honestly, not sure why that is. It's just been my experience, but they all do thicken up. All right, so we've got just a little bit of a mound there. Let me go ahead and get this base on so we can kind of compare them side by side here. Is it me, or does it look more like greenish over here? Maybe it's just the lighting. All right, that was very familiar. The feeling of that blow there, blow out. Okay, trying to see the, whoops. There we go. A little dab will do ya. Actually, I touched the paint there with my blow dryer. All right, so I can tell that the paint coverage on the sides here is going to be better. Yes, for sure. It's not not so transparent like it is on these sides. Don't like that. Okay. So you can see this one like mixing more already with just the light blue and the dark blue, and I pretty much did them in the same way. These are not mixing as much as this. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad, I don't know. We shall see. Okay, this one first. I'm gonna come over here. That is like silky. And just gonna put my pour color here. Follow followed by my orange. Oh, I'm blocking you, so sorry. Maybe I'm blocking you. And then the gold. Okay, and then I'm going to come over here, apply them in the same order to my Floetrol side. Oops, I didn't do them in the same order. Okay. There's nothing I can do about that. It just is what it is. I think it'll still be a good test because we'll still see how the paints interact with each other. Then the gold up here. All right, my goodness. That's so silly. So silly of me. All right, well, again, these paints are kind of spreading out and intermixing with each other already, and these paints are pretty much staying in their zone. So I'm going to just add a little bit of this color here just to give it some nice flow. Same over here. Okay, this went further. Like I have a lot more of this paint left. The Liquitex side. Maybe because this is actually thicker. But I couldn't get the other one to move without thinning it, and I did not put that much water in it. So, experiments. All right. Rid of that little blue, where I dripped some blue in there. Okay. Next step is I'm just going to blow them over a little bit. There's some really beautiful mixing already going on in there where the colors overlapped a lot. And I'm gonna move this stuff out of the way because I have a feeling this paint is gonna splatter a lot. As I pour here. Okay. And then, I don't know how I ended up with a different shape here. I'm just gonna start at the top. I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna come back and come in this side, go out that side, go back and forth, and wow, there's some really interesting things happening in here already. Oh, and like that's just, okay, let's see what happens here. There's like, it's almost like it started to dry already. Like the top, there's like some clumpy pieces in the top that, you see that? It's like clumpy. Why is it clumpy? Somebody, please tell me why this is clumpy. I do like the way this color moves up. Oh, it's like, is it kind of hot? I have my heat turned on? Oh boy. I do not like that. All right, come over and do the other side the same way. All right, so these results are very, very different than one another. And sadly, I am not digging this. Okay, I like this section right here. There is some nice lacing popping up in here that looks very different than this side. But it's I don't know, it like got clumpy. I don't know how else to describe what happened to this pouring medium, but maybe it's just not meant for the Dutch pour. I think I'm gonna keep experimenting with some different methods. I mean, it definitely, there's like some really interesting transparency. Like you can see the paint move very differently. I have no idea what happened up here. That is gross. Okay, it's just like clumpy pieces of paint. But I'm gonna go ahead and drag my finger through here. See if I can create a nice swipe line. I mean, it's not even really all that nice. I don't really want to touch it. I mean, okay, there's some interesting areas, but it's just not, this is like so flowy. Like it has such a softness to it, and that's like, it looks angry. All right, I'm gonna, oh my goodness, there's some really beautiful stuff going on up in here. I'm just gonna pull this through. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Woo, that's beautiful. Oh man, I don't even know if I want to do anything else to it. It is really stunning. The orange against that blue had the potential to become muddy, and it is a little bit dark in a few areas, but like the vibrancy is worth the dark spots. And I always get this really amazing mix of the orange and the yellow in the cells here. Let me see if I can just create a little, I'm gonna do it with this. Like I did not expect it to be as different as it is. I did not expect this. This is so lovely. This has such softness to it. And this is supposed to be archival, and I wish this had the same softness to it, but it doesn't. It has like, this has such a gentleness and an inviting feel, and this feels angry. And you saw me, I kind of handled it the same way. So maybe I just need to learn how to use the Liquitex Pouring Medium. Maybe it needs some Floetrol. Maybe it was the heat from my blow dryer, which doesn't seem to affect the Floetrol, but maybe that was the problem. I'm sure there are some of you out there that absolutely know the answer to these problems. If you want to drop it in the comments, I would love to hear that. And I will probably do some more exploring with the Liquitex Pouring Medium in some open cups, maybe some straight pours. I do feel like there's definitely an application for it, but maybe this isn't the one. Okay, first I want to bring you in for a close-up. This was the Liquitex Pouring Medium. And you can see it does have some interesting lacing areas, but and like this area down here is pretty cool. Focused, there we go. The way the colors overlap is interesting, but the overall feel of the painting just, it's just not me. And in contrast, here is the Floetrol version that has such softness and comfort. It feels so inviting. And I really, really like this one. I love that orange against the blue. It's just really cool. Okay, I am back now with the dried results, and I'm excited to show you what I got here. When I was painting, the Liquitex was looking very different than the Floetrol, and I want to show you the finished results. There are three main takeaways that I have from this painting. I'm going to start by showing you the results from the Liquitex Pouring Medium. This is definitely not my favorite painting. I mean, it might be my least favorite painting, if I'm being honest. I do not like the way this turned out at all. I'm gonna bring you in here for a close-up. The beautiful lacing that I had in this section here disappeared. I've got no cells, but it's muddy, it's messy, ugh. I'm sure that there are applications for the Liquitex Pouring Medium that would come out beautifully. I've seen people use them in straight pours, and I want to give that a try, actually. The edges are the second thing I wanted to show you. I did try to touch this up, but by the time I got to touching the edges, they were already kind of tacky. The third thing I wanted to show you, which I actually think is kind of interesting. I don't know if you can see this. There we go. So when it dried, you can see this is that Amsterdam color, sky blue light, this one. It's glossy. It dried glossy. And then this one, the Liquitex Cerulean blue, dried matte. And I don't know if I know why that happened. If you know why that happened, let me know. But I was unaware that different paints were gonna have different glossiness and attributes to them. But I do think that's kind of interesting, and maybe something that I could use to my benefit in a different type of pour. So I'm thinking if I did a straight pour with those two colors, and also mix in some deco art, satin enamels to create some clouds, the difference between the gloss and the matte might create some, and then the satin enamel clouds in there, that might actually create some pretty interesting effects. So it has given me some ideas. So no, it may be a failed painting. I will never ever offer this. This is going in the garbage. Or maybe just into the archives so I can remember the lessons that I've learned from this. But no failure is a failure in and of itself if you learn something from it. If I learned something from it. And I do feel like I learned something from this experiment. So now I want to show you the Floetrol version, which is so nice. It is so nice. And you guys saw, like, I did this the same way. I mixed the paints the same way. I added water to both of them. I blew them in the same direction. Okay, I did mix up the layering, and this one is a little bit different than that one, but I really don't think that made a difference in the way that it looks. But this one is so soft and so pretty. The blending is so nice. There are a couple little darker areas where the orange overlaying the blue is somewhat transparent, gets a little bit dark, but I honestly don't mind that at all. And you can see the reflection up here. There's some really pretty cells. I got it up in the corner there. And I am very happy with how this turned out. I think it's exciting, it's vibrant, while also being soft. And I'm really pleased with these results. So I hope you enjoyed this experiment, the American Floetrol versus the Liquitex Pouring Medium. I have my personal favorite. If you have your personal favorite, drop it in the comments, let me know. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the videos coming up. I do have some more exciting ideas that I want to share with you this year, some more experiments, and I'm sure there will be some more disasters. But that's what this is all about. It's fun. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you for the next one.